Hello, my name is Maria Mashinsky. I am a Publisher Development Manager at Acceleration Partners. Today, I am joined by the Sovrn team, where we will be diving into all the ways that brands can partner with Sovrn, with a key focus on transparency, control, and compliance when it comes to working with sub-affiliate networks. Thank you so much for joining us today. We have the Sovrn team here to chat through affiliate opportunities. So first off, I'm going to I'll let everyone give quick intros about themselves. So if everyone can just start things off and tell us a little bit about yourself and your roles over at Sovrn.
Yeah, I can start things off, and thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to connect with AP. My name is Keith Bolton. I'm the Director of Commerce Demand. And so I oversee the small but mighty team that is built out to connect and support and strategize with our demand partners, be it a network, an agency of record, or the merchants themselves, just to make sure that they understand all the sort of controls and transparency and the performance opportunities they have through working with us. And so I'm really excited to have this opportunity to connect with AP. I've been working in this industry for over 15 years, so I've seen kind of the growth and maturity, and I know AP's been a part of that growth and success in the affiliate space. So we just want to continue our partnership and find ways that we can just build on kind of momentum that we have so far.
Yeah, awesome. And I can jump in from there. And yeah, just want to echo that sentiment. Thank you guys again. Really excited to be chatting with you today. And my name is Nick Baker, Senior Strategic Account Manager here at Sovrn, and been here for just coming up on 3.5 years. And basically just overseeing our demand partners and helping our merchants kind of plug into our supply, do a bit of education on what is Sovrn, how can they best partner with us, and look at some ways that we can kind of grow and help them achieve whatever KPIs they have for that quarter and for the year. And so, yeah. Happy to be chatting with you guys today.
Yeah, and I can jump in there. My name's Eric Scudder. My role is very similar to Nick, also a manager on the CPA and sponsored content side of the business. So yeah, we're just here to help support you in any of the merchant opportunities that you're working on. And if there's ever any questions or support that you need from us, feel free to reach out to Nick and myself.
All right, I'm Cody Pape. I'm the Director of Network Quality at Sovrn. I oversee our affiliate products as well as our programmatic products, our data business, and our ad management. I've been in affiliate marketing for about 15 years on the network quality and program compliance side.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. We have a great team that we've been working with over at Sovrn. So obviously, we know Sovrn is a sub-affiliate network. They fall into that vertical. But for anyone who may not be familiar with Sovrn, what are a few key things you think that they should know?
Obviously, we are a traditional sub-affiliate network, which hopefully everybody's familiar with. But just to give some context and some data points to help amplify that, we are currently actively working with over 30,000 merchant partners and across our network. We have over 100,000 active sites on the publisher side of things, and we see a generation of over 200 million daily page views. Last year, we helped drive over $1 billion in e-commerce sales for our merchant partners. So we're a small but mighty network, and we're growing, and we definitely are proud of our accomplishments. But we definitely want to sort of work with the AP team and the merchants that they're representing to sort of build on that success going forward. One of the things that we often get asked is, well, what's the broader Sovrn sort of organization? A lot of people don't know this, but actually Sovrn has a footprint in the programmatic and exchange and data channels as well. Sovrn actually had its start in 2005 as an SSP. So we've been active and have a pretty long-standing success record in the exchange and programmatic world of things. And so that, coupled with commerce and of course our data side of the business, which really allows insights and assets to publishers to better understand their site metrics and audience metrics to better effectively manage their ad stack, puts us in a really unique spot. So we're not just a sub-affiliate network or part of this larger enterprise that a lot of people, quite frankly, I don't sort of see us in that context. So we wanted to take the opportunity to bring some awareness about Sovrn Holdings as a whole.
On the quality and compliance side, Sovrn Commerce is actually one of the only affiliate networks in the world to receive platinum certification from the Trustworthy Accountability Group, also known as TAG. So we're actually certified across anti-fraud, anti-malware, and brand safety, as well as receiving our IAB Gold Standard certifications. And so we worked really closely with TAG over the last 3 to 4 years to adapt and apply kind of the quality compliance frameworks that have been built for programmatic to the affiliate marketing space, and really ensuring that We have really premium inventory and top level compliance with those standards.
I'm glad you mentioned that. That is always a key component when we're speaking to clients and brands is quality and transparency. So we definitely want to chat a little bit more about that, but that is just a huge positive of working with you guys in my experience is coming into and meeting those transparency and quality requirements that a lot of our brands are looking for. So I know you mentioned you kind of jumped into how Sovrn has a lot of different opportunities and ways to promote brands. I think we discussed 3 main tools. Would you be able to just give us a highlight or high level overview of what those different opportunities are?
Yeah, for sure. I can hop in here. And yeah, so to jump in, Sovereign Commerce, they effectively have a series of different publisher tools that they can use to monetize their traffic, right? And effectively send that traffic and their audience over to different merchant destinations. And so it really started off with Convert way back when, which was effectively just a script you could put at the top of your page, and it would monetize any of your unmonetized affiliated links, and effectively have a scalable solution to partner with several different merchants just by working with Sovrn. And with that came sort of iterations on how can we give publishers more tools to effectively link, say on platforms like social media, right? And basically build a link where they and put that into whatever content they want to put it into, which is sort of the inception of our Anywhere product, allowing publishers to post links anywhere, as it's aptly named, and really kind of drive more of an audience a bit more deliberately, whereas Convert would do a lot of that work for them. Anywhere kind of gave them the tool to do that on their own. And with that, we've also recently got into business with Monetizer 101. We had an acquisition late Q3 of last year. And with that, we're now bringing price comparisons into the fold as well. So allowing publishers to not only just link to one product, but allowing those publishers to do so at many different retailers, giving their users a bit more of choice, also bringing in sort of that price comparison. So where do they want to shop? Is there inventory at the stores they might typically shop at, or is there higher inventory elsewhere? So allowing those publishers to link through multiple different tools just gives our advertisers more ability to basically get that traffic over to their respective programs.
It's obvious that you bring a lot of value to the publishers as well, streamlining a lot of those processes. I know the comparison tool is new and we've already seen a lot of interest in that. Can you maybe walk us through what that comparison tool looks like? Is that primarily on content articles or listicles? Like, what does that look like in execution?
Absolutely. Yeah. So right now we're really seeing this being primarily successful with your traditional content editorial types of publishers, right? Who want to list out, like in your example, listicles, right? Where they can maybe provide multiple different products for maybe what's coming up for this summer or whatever that seasonal trend might be. And not just in that comparisons widget, but we're also introducing shopping galleries where they can basically build that out right in their page, right? So if you wanted to see like the top 10 sneakers, to wear to a concert, right? You could have that kind of flow in that page. So yeah, we're really going to see a lot of success with this with larger content publishers as they kind of want to bring a little bit more choice and diversity to their content in terms of the SKUs they're linking out to.
Yeah, I'm excited about that one because shoppable content, so to speak, has been, we've seen a lot of interest in that recently from our brands. I'd like to dive into transparency and quality. This is one of the key things that when we're bringing sub-affiliate partnerships to our brands, kind of the first question we get is how much transparency do we have into what publishers are promoting, where they're promoting, specific performance. So I'd love to dive into that. So my first question is, how does Sovrn ensure that sub-affiliate partnerships are legitimate and drive what we call incremental revenue?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the key differentiators between our network and some of the traditional networks that merchants might be familiar with is that our onboarding flow is a little bit different for publishers. So once a publisher signs up with us and adds a property to their account, they have to then create a baseline of unaffiliated traffic to merchant destinations before they can actually be reviewed and approved or denied. And that allows us to really dig into how publishers are promoting merchants, where they're placing links, and how traffic is driven to their properties. And that allows us to really ensure that they're complying with not just our internal code of conduct, but partner network and merchant terms of service. I think most merchants and networks are familiar with kind of the bait and switch tactics that they've seen, where publishers will sign up with a property and actually drive traffic from a separate property. And so that allows us to really validate that they either have ownership or rights to actually place links on those properties, and that they're doing so, and that's where traffic is originating from. Once they actually have been approved, each additional property that they add to their account then goes through that same onboarding and vetting process. And so that's kind of the gateway that exists before a publisher is live with us. Once they're live and they're part of our network and they're actually able to affiliate with merchants, we then conduct regular active auditing of our networks. We do this on a weekly, monthly, and quarterly cadence. And so we do things like we look at by vertical, we benchmark based on expected conversion rates in EPC, order values, things like that. We can identify anomalous traffic or outliers and really dig into that, understand why it's not performing how we expect. New publishers, once they reach the 14-day mark, they've generated over $25 in revenue. We do a full holistic audit of their traffic. And that's kind of identify publishers who have abnormally quick growth patterns that might indicate like acquired traffic or non-compliant traffic sources. We then also do a similar comprehensive account review once they reach $300 in 90-day revenue. And then on a quarterly basis, we score our top 100 publishers across our entire network, where a lot of the real revenue is generated. We obviously work a lot with our long tail to try and grow and optimize those publishers. But I think the biggest impact that merchants see is typically in the head of a business. And so we score those publishers based on their traffic quality, their compliance history, the level of transparency they provide to us, the geographic region where the publisher is actually located, where their traffic is coming from, incrementality, brand recognition. And then publishers who actually fall below our minimum baseline for scoring are then offboarded from the network, as they don't really meet the values we need to really promote our merchants in a compliant fashion. And then kind of the last thing we do is we work really closely with both our merchant and our finance teams to audit the actual payments that are going out to publishers. And some of the things that our company looks at are like abnormal return rates for publishers, self-submitted transactions, abnormal order values or unusually large order values, and just kind of general anomalies in sales based on transactional data that's available to us internally. When concerns are found with transactional quality or non-compliance is found in publisher traffic, we have the ability to then place those commissions on hold while it's investigated, and we can make outreach. That allows us to make outreach to partner merchants and networks for transactional validation. Obviously, merchants have much deeper insights into the information included in transactions, and so they have a unique ability to then validate whether or not those are legitimate sales, and we'll work with them to provide transaction IDs to make corrections and adjustments where necessary.
That's great. Thank you for walking through that. That's such a thorough approval process. I think that brings a lot of confidence when it comes to just ensuring it's all quality publishers. Along those lines, like how much control or what types of control do brands have just to ensure maybe they're looking to work with one specific type of publisher in a specific vertical, or maybe they're looking to approve different types? Like how much control does a brand have when it comes to like the types of publishers they're working with?
I mean, I think the first thing and the most important thing is providing transparency into what those merchants do and don't allow. In our Merchant Explorer, we allow our merchants to provide their terms and conditions and their policies, which we then present to publishers. And so that's a big part, is just understanding what our merchants' policies and ensuring that those are visible to partners so we can actually build a successful partnership. I think second to that is making sure that we're providing transparency to networks and to merchants to understand who is promoting them and making sure that aligns with their campaign goals and KPIs. We do allow merchants to set restrictions on a number of different fields within our merchant dashboard and our merchant controls admin. And so some of those include like promotional method restrictions. So if they don't partner with coupon sites, we can restrict that. We also, through some of our network partnerships, allow commission tiering, which then allows merchants to set rates based on how much they value specific traffic or how they want to price traffic for it to make sense for their campaigns. And we can also set restrictions around things like geographic region, device type, things like that. The geographic region was obviously a big one. We have some smaller niche controls that probably aren't used or utilized as much, that our merchant team really works with the merchants to optimize. And then kind of last, which is something that we discourage, but is certainly possible for really sensitive merchants, is kind of adjusting the policy if they're on, whether they're open or closed policy. We obviously want to work with merchants to grow their programs as much as possible, but to work with them in ensuring that that's done in a compliant fashion that really meets their needs for control.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to that. I mean, our network is really founded on, transparency, controls, and performance. We obviously want to drive performance, but doing it in a measured way and providing access and understanding as to all the publishers that a merchant is working with us through Sovrn is something that is central to us. We admit that we have not been integrated with our network partners in a way that makes it easy for them to see kind of the publisher sourcing from us. We do allow them access to our dashboard or provide ad hoc reporting, but one of the initiatives that we're working on right now is to have a better integration with our network partners. So we're passing on those publisher identifiers so they can easily see it within an Impact or a Rakuten or a CJ. They don't need to kind of go to a supplemental sort of resource to try to find that transparency. We're actually providing it proactively. So it makes it really seamless, really obvious. Again, we don't have anything to hide. We want to make sure there's complete understanding of all of the publishers that a merchant is working with through Sovrn.
And just one last piece to all of that. And obviously, all of this starts with communication, which is a big part of why we've expanded our demand team to basically address more of these clients on a day-to-day basis. So that's where you have Eric and I come into play. We've also have built out our commerce support team to field all of the other questions that Eric and I can't get to on our day-to-day basis. But so we have, not only ourselves, Cody, and the network quality team, but also a commerce support team to basically make sure whatever we hear coming from our demand partners, we're making sure that we're in lockstep with them, that we have those controls in place for them, and they A, know what those are, and B, are being executed on their behalf.
You read my mind on passing the parameter and reporting. That's another question that we get a lot of, and it just makes it a lot easier for our team. So we definitely appreciate that you guys are implementing that. The last kind of key topic I want to cover is optimization. So we do have a lot of our brands already joined with Sovrn, and I want to jump into the best way to optimize publishers. So I think really the first question, I know you mentioned this, you have a full support team, but who can they reach out to, or who can brands reach out to for optimizing publishers in the program, and what does that process look like?
Yeah, I would say a great place to start is with myself or with Eric. The way we do it is we kind of break it out a bit by network management. So specifically, if you had brands that you were running through, whether it be CJ or Impact, you could reach out to myself. And then, of course, Eric managing Rakuten, Ascend, and Partnerize, to name a few. And again, any brand that's running on any other network, you can always start with us, and we'll get you in touch with the right person. And yeah, really what we're here to do is help you kind of like basically run through what are the goals you guys are trying to hit, and then walk through what optimizations we have available. And then also getting creative and looking through, well, what are the publishers currently working with you through our network? We have a very great relationship with a number of the publishers that are working with our advertisers. And so we often have weekly stand-ups with a lot of these guys and basically understand what are the opportunities coming down the pike for those publishers that maybe our advertisers don't know about, and really kind of connecting those two so we can kind of create some efficiencies there.
The next question along that vein is, if brands are looking to diversify with Sovrn or maybe commission publishers differently, I know we've talked about this before, Nick, but there's just opportunity to have a more customized approach by potentially a category like coupon partners versus content. Maybe we can dive into the opportunities for customizing commission differently for different types of publishers, as well as diversifying within the Sovrn partnership.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, there's definitely no really one size fits all when it comes to commissioning, right? So we wanted to basically provide that solution to our advertiser partners, right? So by and large, in basically all of the networks we work with, we're going to have 2 accounts, right? And that's going to allow publishers to basically partner with us in a direct capacity. And then we also have that secondary account, which we can kind of use just to optimize in whichever fashion that advertiser might want to use it, right? So in a lot of cases, maybe they want to batch different types of publisher groups into 2 different commission rates. We see that pretty regularly. We also see sometimes they want to kick over a handful of publishers into that secondary account and test them out with a higher commission rate and see, what can they get in exchange for, say, an exclusive commission. In that same vein, we can also do that on a very one-to-one basis, right? I think that's really sort of the bread and butter of working with a partner like us, is we're able to bring all of these different partnerships together. But like I said, it's not necessarily, you just give us that commission rate and all of those publishers have to get that, right? Through things like PID level commissioning or shared ID commissioning, we're able to really strategize the partnerships we're creating through our network and have that publisher receive that exclusive rate from that advertiser and really work together on developing a strategy for, whatever that exposure might be, or if it's some sort of, placement in an article or a listicle or what have you. We have those tools available so that advertisers can really develop strategy with these publishers on a one-to-one basis.
Yeah, that's great. I can say from experience, especially for clients that have a more complicated commission structure, you guys have some great processes in place to make that a lot easier than you think it might be. So I think that's just a great benefit of working with Sovrn as well.
Oh, we're glad to hear it.
Okay, so I know we touched on this a bit, but how can brands grow their partnership with Sovrn? Do you have anything in particular coming up, any current opportunities, or any general notes on the best way to grow the partnership?
Organically, what brands can do is they can push us any promotions or sales that they're running, and then we can share them with our promotions team, which kind of compiles them into a Google Doc, which gets shared with publishers. However, we do work with 30,000 other merchants, like you heard Keith say at the beginning of the interview. So if there are ever any key promotions, key sales, or key times of the year where it's important for a brand to be featured, we have some kind of above and beyond opportunities that we offer. So we have, essentially, you can look at these opportunities in two different buckets. We have one bucket, which is designed to cast a wide net and get in front of as many of our publishers as possible. And those opportunities are our newsletter, which are emailed out to publishers and also posted on our blog. So those are seasonal. They're all priced individually depending on the time of the year and the demand we typically see for that placement. And then we also offered publisher dashboard placements. These are 100% SOV placements that live around the publisher's dashboard that merchants can opt into to highlight a promotion or sale that they're running. So those are essentially the one bucket we have, which is kind of geared at targeting publishers. But then we also have another bucket, which is working directly with a particular publisher. So by being a part of Sovrn, you have access to all of our publishers. But if there was ever a publisher you specifically wanted to work with, or you wanted them to create an article for you or an email, we can facilitate the process of getting a sponsored article or sponsored email set up. And the brand obviously would have complete say in that process. You get to provide an outline of what you would like to see in the content. You get to review a draft before anything goes live. You get to choose the date when you want it to go live and just have a complete say in that process.
For both those opportunities, like custom publisher, like specific publisher optimizations, as well as like the larger, Nick and Eric, are you still our best contacts for opportunities like that?
Yeah, exactly. So like Nick was mentioning, I will manage all of different relationships that we have at Rakuten, Ascend, Partnerize, and then Nick manages CJ, Impact.
Awesome. I know as we're closing, I really appreciate the time today, but I did just want to open the floor. If there's anything else you want to highlight that for 2022, anything coming Q3, Q4, that would be important for teams to keep in mind.
Yeah, I can kind of hop in here. We talked about it a lot earlier in the call, but definitely want to highlight, something we really want to get across the finish line this year is just bringing that ease of transparency. Not only does it, open up the ability for the advertisers to see exactly, where are they buying traffic from, but it also opens up that strategy component, right? Like you're able to see, what audiences are they doing well with, what categories, right? And we really want to help our advertisers definitely kind of build out that strategy at a deeper level. So that's something we're really excited to kind of bring forward across our various managed networks, and certainly something that you guys will be certainly well in on the loop with as we make steps towards that. And then in addition, just rolling out, I think comparisons is another huge one for us. Our publisher growth team is really out in market, bringing on new and exciting publishers with this one tool alone, right? So we're going to open up all of these new avenues for brands to have incremental placements on some pretty popular websites. So we're excited to bring that forward. And yeah, we're just excited to kind of grow with you guys over Acceleration Partners. And we've been thrilled with the partnership so far. And as we kind of develop our new tools and strategies and build out our team a little bit more, we're pretty optimistic for the future.
Yeah, same here. I can say I know our AP teams have had a great experience working with you guys, and we're looking forward to a continued partnership in 2022. I want to thank you all for joining me today. We really appreciate it. And of course, as any teams are watching this, please feel free to reach out to our contacts here. I know they explained the differentiators on who to reach out to, but thank you again for your time. We really appreciate it.